What is up guys, JayFerGaming here, welcome back to my Jules Bianchi season. This is round 14, so we've only got 6 races to go, and we're aiming for Kimi Räikkönen in the standings. It's going to be tricky, especially at this track, which is not one I ever look forward to. The Marina Bay circuit in Singapore. I just need to keep it out the wall, and can we get points? I'm not too confident, but let's see how we do in qualifying, and here we go into the session. Or the lap even, and yeah, the first sector didn't start off too well. We're down in 22nd now, dead last, but it does actually improve into the final sector. We've got ourselves up into the likes of P15, P16, so it's improving slightly. We're gonna probably be in our standard position, but come to the line, let's see where we actually end up. I'm not too sure if we're gonna be that high up the field looking at that. And the standings will be up now. Rosberg actually gets pole from Hamilton. That's pretty strange. And actually looking at the grid, it's 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 and by 2 again. So yeah, that's a very exciting qualifying session right there, especially if you're a spectator. And yeah, 15th, nearly 4 seconds off, but it's not too bad. We've out qualified the 2 Lotuses, the 2 Saubers, the 2 Caterhams of my teammates. So yeah, overall that's not too bad of a session, and I don't know if we could scrape a point or two. Let's see how the race goes. And I was thinking for the opening stint, I think I'm going to start on prime tyres. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity just to get them out the way. I don't really expect to make too much progress up the field in the early stages. We're going to have to try and fight back in the second half of the race on the option tyres, but here we go on the primes, expecting a horrific start. So yeah, let's just hope we don't lose any positions. 5 lights and away we go. And yeah, we don't get too much wheel spin. We get a horrible start compared to Grosjean and Gutierrez and Sutil. So we're going to try to go around the outside. Gutierrez comes across us annoyingly. But we go around the outside and yeah, still in 15th, so it's not been too bad. Around the outside of Fiat, we were so close hitting the wall there. But if we get the inside line down into turn 3 here, we could get the position back. We do. Just understeering and then oversteering, and yeah, we settled into 14th, just behind the 2 Force Indias. Sadly, we can't go for a dive bomb down here, but the AI can be pretty slow in terms of slowing each other up, and these Force Indias going side by side is definitely going to give me a shot at trying to take them and gain a position or two, and they're still going at it. This is, yeah, they're losing so much time. Wow, they're still side by side. They have been for nearly the whole race so far, half a lap. And oh, the red contact. I thought Hulkenberg was going to go into the wall there. Perez ends up getting the advantage. We have a shot at a move, but there's not enough space there, so we settle in just behind them, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity and not clip the wall once again. But on to lap 3 here. On the prime tyres, we have dropped back from the 2 Force Indias, and now we have Kvyat in our mirrors. He's going to get DRS now. It's been enabled. We're trying to defend our position, but I think he might just get straight past us. We're going to go for it up the inside just to keep our position. Try and force my wipe, and no, he's still there. And yeah, that's actually a great move from Kvyat there. He should be very happy with that one, but I'm not too disheartened that we're losing positions. As long as we stay relatively close to these guys, we can definitely fight back in the second half of the race. That's what I'm hoping for. And if I can retake this position from Kvyat, then that would definitely help. And I don't think we're going to get a shot here unless we go for a move into the hairpin, but I think we're too far back, so yeah, we'll settle in 15th, try and stick with the guys ahead, and possibly pit a little earlier for options. I've got a plan in my mind, and I'll disclose that information in a second. But behind us, Grosjean's turn to close in. Kvyat's got away from us ahead, but we defend the position. We didn't defend majorly there. Grosjean could have gone for a move, but guess he didn't feel like it. So lap 5, we're doing okay. I think we've got okay pace. We're not too far behind the cars ahead. And on lap 6, some cars are in the pits to go off the option tyres, but you've done 6 laps on the option tyres. And what I remember from Monaco, which this track is the most like, is that I went on the options for about 6 laps like my engineer recommended, and they had no tyre wear at all. So I thought, yeah, at the end of this lap, I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the options earlier than my engineer suggested. It's going to be 8 laps. I don't think it's going to be too much of a stretch, but we'll get the extra pace of the option tyres. And I think that's probably the way to go, so I'm going to take the risk. We were outside the points anyway, so what's the worst that can happen? We can lose no points. and we can gain a couple of points if we have a great final stint. So there's quite a few cars in the pits. Hopefully we don't get held up. As a Force India pulls out ahead, into the box we go. And no, I'm not going to say E-I-E-I-O because that's copyrighted. And we come out just ahead of Kobayashi, who I think held up Grosjean. So it doesn't look great at the moment, down in 18th, but I'm pretty sure there's quite a few cars. I say quite a few, probably about 3-4 cars left to pit. That's a very cautious pit exit as well. With no doubt we lost a bit of time there, but we'll see at the end of this lap how we're going to do. And it just feels great to have grippy tyres because the primes were okay, but they were pretty slow and I wasn't feeling entirely confident with them. But now the option tyres feel amazing, especially after a prime stint as well. So cars are going into the pits. 15th place, we're just behind Kvyat actually. We could have a shot into the DRS zone coming up and we could do with dispatching him as quick as possible and then try and go after the cars ahead. I mean, there's a few cars in striking distance ahead of Kvyat, I'm going to guess. They're the Force Indias, so we could do again past here. DRS, we don't have the greatest straight line speeds I've noticed that, so I don't think we're going to go for a move here. We are a bit too far back, we're having a look. Ooh, Kvyat was very slow there. I'm going to put it down to cool tyres, and we did make a bit of contact, and once again we make contact. I'm just not used to these cars being so slow ahead of me. And yeah, this kind of confirms we have to get past him, and yeah, just don't lose any time. Let's see if we can go for a move here. The hairpin's usually a good one. If we get a decent run here, yes we do. The chicane, we should be stronger, and we have the grippier tyres. Yes, we're going to have a shot here. I'm going to go for it. I'm taking the risk. Up the inside, dive bomb into the hairpin. We've locked up slightly, but we forced Kvyat out wide, and that's a fantastic move. I'm actually very happy with that one. And now up to Rich Mix. Use the fuel we saved up and get onto the back of Perez, which we have done. I could have gone for moving into turn 1, but I thought the safer options to go for it in the DRS zone. We shouldn't lose too much time here chasing after the Force India, but it looks like Hulkenberg's quite far ahead of him. So yeah, Perez has lost out in the pit sequence, but if we get a decent run here, we take enough curb, we're right on the back of Perez, DRS. And yeah, you can see the straight line speed, even with DRS, we're not really closing in too much, and not as much as we actually need, so it's going to be a risky move up the inside. Hopefully Perez leaves space. We do, I think, slightly corner cut that, but it had to be done. I don't think Perez saw the move coming until very late. So there we go, up to 12th, and now to chase after Verne. I don't actually know where Hulkenberg has gone, unless he has actually overtaken Verne, but we're on lap 13 here, near the end, and we're right on the back of the Toro Rosso even. And if we look further ahead, a point is not that far ahead. So if we get Verne here, we've got a great run out the final corner actually. I'm not waiting for the next DRS zone, I'm going for it right now, into turn 1. And there we go, clean move up the inside, and Magnussen's not too far ahead actually. We've got 2 laps to close in. What's the gap? I don't know. It looks about 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, and we might be able to close that in. Let's see how it is. On to the final lap now. What is the gap? 2.5 seconds, so we've got a shot. It's going to have to be an absolutely banzai qualifying lap to actually close in, and overtaking in the final sector isn't easy, but yeah, it was too much of a difficult job. We were too far behind. We were pushing so hard. I mean, corner cutting there into the wall as well, but now I've accepted it's not going to happen. But it's been a solid drive actually, considering this isn't one of my better tracks and we have a very tricky kind D, but the stint on the option tyres felt brilliant. I actually really enjoyed it, which is a strange thing for me around here, but we're coming around the final couple of corners and we're coming across the line to finish in P11. No points in this race, but I'm not really too disappointed. It was a decent race in terms of overtaking and on-track action, and we get a solid finish. And actually, Hamilton took the win from Rosberg. Their battle is going to go all the way to the end, and it looks kind of like 2x2 again, just like qualifying. Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and then the Williams and McLarens intertwine there. And we jumped up from our starting position of 15th to 11th, but 5 races to go after this. I don't think we're going to catch up to Raikkonen in terms of the drivers' standings, but the battle with McLaren goes on. They scored a few points there. In the drivers' standings here, we are 34 points behind Raikkonen. So yeah, we realistically need a couple of podiums, but I don't think that's going to happen. The battle at the top's really close and intense between Rosberg and Hamilton. That'll be one to watch out for. And we have a gap of 19 points to Button, so we should beat him. We're kind of in no man's land there, sadly. But in the Constructors, there we go, 1 point ahead of McLaren. McLaren scored, I think it was 5 points in that race. So they're closing in on us, so it should be exciting. So if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see the rest of the season, and I'll catch you in the next race. Goodbye.